Hey there everybody, welcome back. You're watching the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage here on YouTube, and I'm making a video today. I literally just got home with a new find. I found a sewing machine and I was told that it has some problems, but it comes with a cabinet, and they told me the cabinet has some damage and that one of the hinges had come loose. So I got it home, and typically when I transport machines, if they come in carry cases, I just leave them in the case and take any things that come with them, and I take, and I cart it home. Well, when machines are in tables, I normally remove the machine from the table, even if it's hardwired into the table, like some of the Singers in the extra fancy Singer tables were. And so I removed the machine that came with this table, and I'm going to hold off mentioning to you what it was because I want to see if any of you recognize a table that looks like this and see if you can guess what machine came in it. Now, the machine is not ready to sew either. In fact, the machine, I was told, had something cracked in it, and that tells me it may not be good. But you know what? I wanted to get I wanted to get out and go looking for machines, and this one got my attention. So first of all, as I show you the table, see if you can figure out, wonder what machine came in this. But we're going to also investigate the table itself and what could possibly be wrong with it. It doesn't look all that bad. Yeah, it's a little scuffed up. It's got some stains. I have come across sewing machine tables and cabinets that were treated just beautifully, and I'm so in awe of, sometimes multiple generations took great care of them, but that's not true, unfortunately, of many sewing machine tables. And those of you who've gone out looking, collecting, purchasing vintage sewing machines, you probably discovered this already. So let's take a look at the table and see what's going on with it. Okay, everyone, let's I've basically gotten the table out of the vehicle, and the machine and the sewing accessories that came with it, they have been taken out. They were taken out before the table was loaded up. Again, it's much easier to move furniture without something weighing like a bowling ball in it. So I thought I'd show you this to you, and we're going to explore it a little bit. So I believe this is the handle. That's the first thing I noticed when I saw this listed. So you opened it up. What do you see? Well, over here you see, of course, a nice built-in. I'm assuming this was designed for thread spools. There's a little place here, a little indentation. It could have been used, I don't know, everything from ink pens to seam rippers. I don't know if this was for. I don't think it was for bobbins, but I could be wrong. Anyway, when you go in here, you see, and you sometimes see this hand machine. So that's a hint for you guys. And what I noticed is it looks like there's a sewing bench or a sewing seat, right? We're used to seeing these with sewing tables quite often. So, but no. Well, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. Let me zoom in here. I want you guys to see this. I think you see me struggling a little bit, and you're going to hopefully understand why. So I went to pick this up, and it wouldn't come out. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then as I come, it actually slides. Apparently, it slides on these little runners. Never seen that. Now, but if you look, let's look at the side of this little stool. I normally don't pay that much. I don't really cover sewing table stools very often. Make sure the wind doesn't come and smack us around here. So apparently there's this indentation, this groove. It's kind of, maybe it's a little wide to call a groove. And it goes apparently all around the stool. And of course, it's also on the sides. Right? So it was designed to slide. I think that's really neat. Now, let's see what's in here. Got on the right side, so I'm going to look at this. Whoa! Uh-oh. So, well, let me zoom back out, and I think You know, you all have heard me talk for years about how incredibly well made sewing tables were, and sewing furniture in general was made back in the day. And this thing is literally barely, barely together. This was obviously, the joint was glued at one time, but this thing has come off. So it's something catastrophic happened to it. I don't know what exactly. So let's set that aside. Oh, in fact, I'll use it to prop our door open here. All right. What else have we got? Let's, I don't know that I see, let's see if I can find anything else to point to here. There's a little piece of steel. I'll zoom in, maybe you guys see a little bit better. There's a piece of steel right here, and you know, it flexes, and the only thing I can think of, maybe do you think it was there to hold a cord of some kind? That's the only thing I can think of. All right, you can probably easily see, without my calling it out, that there's a piece, like a chunk of this. These are little cubbies or drawers. Now, if you're thinking that it's missing hardware, it actually is not. It's a European design, right? And you actually grab it around here. You can see the shape on the side here, right? The pulls are on the side. What have we got here? I've got, this is a really old Canadian penny. Canada doesn't use pennies in its currency system anymore. And I see a really, really small screw, wood screw. I have no idea what that's to, okay? All right, let's see. We'll go ahead and get this one out, if I can get it out. Oh, well, now we know what happened to the drawer, because this piece is still here. Look at that. So apparently that somebody must have pulled too hard on it. And you can see where obviously there was a veneer, right? So, oh, that might be repairable. Not much in here. And you know, the drawers seem to be being, other than the one that's got the wood issues and problems, the drawers seem to be okay. So I'm going to set these drawers aside for a moment. We'll take more of a look here. Now, when I picked this up, it was waiting for me, and I think some of you may have also experienced something like this before. You don't always have the luxury of hanging out and looking at things. So I took the machine out, and you know, I could see what looked like a loose hinge, and I was determined to get this home and investigate it. But we're not done yet. So I love the layout of this thing and the design. But now it's time to inspect further. Now, some of you, when you're looking at tables and cabinets, you might be looking at, you know, is it, you know, it's dirty. This one's filthy. It's been sitting a very long time. It's got lots of dust and cobwebs, and I didn't see any live insects or spiders, but you know, we're having a very late spring here in Ontario, so it's I don't see anything living in there, but there's, you know, lots of dust. But you know, that's nothing. Dust can be cleaned, and you know, the outside was looking a little rough here. So let's come back. Now, sometimes you may look at a table and think, gosh, you know, I don't want this sewing table, because look, it's got, you know, the finish is, somebody was really not, I don't know if the original owner did this to the table, but you can see it's you can see rings where people started using it as just a junk bench, apparently. That's just, my guess. Who knows? So I'm going to open up this side. Now what you see is something I'm used to seeing with European brands, and maybe some of the Japanese companies had this done too. But this has some sort of metal with a piece of felt in it. So it's this nice felt pad so that when you close this, it doesn't scratch the table surface. Although you might think, well, too bad the top wasn't as well cared for. Now they said that there was a loose hinge. So let's get this side open. You guys see something that you shouldn't be seeing? Oh boy. All right. Now, when I took the machine out, I had two nice hinges here. They look like Singer hinges, but it's not a Singer, I'll tell you that. Some of you, if you're trying to figure out and guess what machine is in here, why did I go? Because I saw the table first in the ad, but then I saw the machine later, and that's why I went to get it. Now, this is something you don't want to see. These tables were built pretty strong, okay? And you'll notice over here on this side, you've got whoops, come here, camera. You've got 1, 2, 3 hinges, and then over here, you got 3 hinges. Well, what could be so bad? Is it a loose screw? Nope. Take a good close look, everyone. Look at this. This table, well, first of all, I found the hinge failure that the person offering this machine had told me about, and it broke. I'm like, okay, well, I can try to find a hinge maybe, but we got greater problems here. we have wow. These tables were constructed out of hard wood and then often covered with a veneer or finish or a combination of those. And it's not the scratches and all this that worries me. You guys have seen me clean up tables before, but my gosh, what happened here? I mean, when I look at, we'll come over to the side, guys. You can see just how severe this is. Holy cow. Now, before I show you this, I'm going to come back. This is that little stool, right? Here and here, both corners it is literally off. I mean, it's just snapped. And now granted, there's glue there, but I think these would have, if you look here, it's reinforced with the corner pieces, like a good piece of furniture should be. And, even glued joints shouldn't just pop like this. This is a very severe thing. Now, let's come back over here. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to lower camera. You guys tell me what you think happened here. Notice here, there's a break. It's literally cracked here, and it's not as obvious, but it's actually cracked here. Now, watch what happens if I lift this up. I got long arms, but not that long. All right, now, do you guys see this? This is like catastrophic severe. And it really makes me wonder. I mean, over here I see a nice, I don't know if that's a tenon, mortise and tenon joinery or something is, this belongs here, but I have to tell you, I don't know what in the heck happened here, but it almost, when I look at this, I think what I'm seeing is I'm thinking I'm seeing a table that got dropped. Now, whether this caused the damage to the machine also, because the machine is apparently damaged, I haven't figured out what that is yet. But my gosh, I mean, it's not easy to do this kind of damage. A piece of furniture that's built. Remember, these sewing tables are very strong. And I literally lifted up by just that piece there because remember, some vintage sewing machines were heavy. The furniture was built with the only thing I can imagine is that this table and of course its stool would have been inside it at the time. I think it got dropped. Did it get dropped downstairs? I don't know. I didn't have to go up or downstairs to get it, but you know, this table's been around a while. Who knows how many homes and owners it's had? I don't know. Wow. Now, there is one other theory, and I'm going to kind of throw this out at you guys. You tell me what you think about this theory. Imagine, the top is open. Remember, sewing machine tables are designed. Wow, look at this. This whole piece has, I don't know if it's separated from, yeah, it started to come off the front frame, and the top have separated right here. Now, but look here where the hinge is open. Granted, one hinge is gone, but if I just let it hang there, that's what it's doing. I mean, that literally looks to me like, well, here's theory number 2, is that someone opened this up and either something heavy or maybe a kid went jumping and crawling on it and broke it, because something had to really force that left lid piece, I call it the clamshell, right, that leaf, something had to force that thing down really hard. It tore one of the hinges, and it literally, the other two hinges didn't tear. It literally was a very heavy piece of wood. So something severe happened. Now, whether the machine does not appear to have any scratches or dents, and the machine was in the table when I got to it, so it was covered in dust, so I don't know if the machine suffered. Maybe it didn't. We're going to find out. But now, the question is this salvageable? I think a woodworker, a furniture worker, a wood shop would say, of course, hey, I can fix that. Well, we'll do this and we'll do that. The question is, am I going to do that? And I believe, because I am a sewing machine restorer, but I am not a woodworker. I'm not a wood repairer. And this is something that I am determined not to allow me to not salvage the machine because of the table. Now, fortunately, and I'm going to make a guess here, and I could be wrong, but I believe, if I'm correct, that this opening, the width of this space, it looks wider than the earlier Singer widths, but I'm wondering if it fits the wider Singer width that came out with the 400 and 500 series, and also the distance between the hinges. So I'll be taking a look at those numbers and we'll see. Okay, everyone, I've got my tape measure here. First thing I want to do is measure front to back, and 7 inches, of course. Yes, that is the classic depth of Singers and many vintage machines from this era. Now, let's look at the distance between the two hinge pins. I see 9 3/4 inches. That should match the Singer dimension. And what about the width? 16 5/8. Yep. I think we're going to be okay, because the machine, if I can save the machine, which I make no assumptions here, if I can save the machine, I should be able to find a place for the machine to live in a carry case or table. But this thing is sad, and it really is. It's disappointing. I think the person who had listed this wanted to. They didn't want it anymore. They were going to work on it. But this is more than a broken hinge. This is a. The top piece here. It's this piece here that has broken, and I believe it could be repaired. But again, I do not maintain. Never mind the shop. I don't have the skills to do it, and I'm not sure that I'm interested in doing it unless I was going to keep it. Now, if this was you, and you thought, I've just got to have this table, I've got to have this machine, I've always wanted it, and I finally found it, because this is not common. And I will tell you that the machine that came in this table, I've never had one before. And I will tell you it is not Singer, although it certainly has Singer bed dimensions, but we know why. If you've looked at many of my other videos, you'll know that. So, all right, guys. Well, what do you think? What should I salvage from this? We've got some nice hinges here. This piece here, I'm not sure about this piece, if it would transfer to just any table, but why not? Hinges, let's see, what do you think? Is it worth it? I've never really had many issues with hinges per se. It can happen, so I'll ponder that. I'm going to think about that. Tell me if you think I should save the hinges. And what about it's helping hold that end of the table up. What about this piece? That's kind of a cool piece, huh? Right here. If you get the vintage sewing machine bug, it becomes a hobby for you, not just a quest you have for a specific machine, which is wonderful. Many of my viewers are just, you have some machines, you restore them, and you're sewers, or maybe you're a collector. But if you're going to repair something like this, and I really, really, really would love to have, I just noticed something, there's a number here, it says 10, number 10, it meant something to someone. So, that's kind of where I'm at here, Now, could I pay a wood shop to repair this? Yes. Here in Ontario, I'd be looking at $150, $200. Could it be worth it? Potentially, if I really want to keep this. Do I want to keep it? Do I want it to be my personal? I don't know. This, when I look at the stool, I think it's a testament to how well these tables were built. I know that sounds like an odd thing to say as it sits here crumbled, but I think this thing got dropped, because if it was just something heavy put on this left side leaf, then why in the world is the seat, the little storage stool, sewing stool, why is it busted? Kind of makes you wonder if it fell downstairs or someone just dropped it. Wow. And I wonder if it belonged to someone and someone's family and they just didn't have the heart to get rid of it even after they dropped it. I don't know. So, I think on all the years I have had this hobby, I know I've never had a video of a salvage table, and the only table I can think of that I ever bought, I bought a Singer 201 many years ago. I think it was before I had the channel, folks, and the table had been sitting outside and when I say sitting outside, it was exposed to the weather, and even that wouldn't have necessarily killed it, but structurally it came apart because it had been too long and I couldn't save it. And that's how much I love these sewing tables because they are built so well. And I think this one was too. I don't think this table deserves the blame here. This thing is heavy. It took two of us to load it up into our vehicle. So I think something catastrophic happened. Wow. tell me what you think. Tell me if you can guess what machine came in this table. Was it Japanese? Was it European? Because it wasn't. It was not a Singer, and it was not made by the White Corporation back when they made machines in the United States and Canada. So let me know what you think, and I'll have to decide. Let me know what you think about what machine came in the table. But again, if this was a table or a machine I've been searching for my whole life, and I found it, it's just, you know what? Let's go to a shop and pay a woodworker to rebuild this properly. But I don't know if that, I have to decide, okay, how much time and resources do I want to spend on one table? Because there are millions of machines out there that we need to save in tables, and so I think I've expressed this when I've had to show videos for sewing machine salvage, and that their parts can help. They can help save other machines. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But it's sad that this table, apparently it was tough enough to survive some kind of catastrophe, and I don't know, but my God Almighty, it took something really severe to do this. But the machine didn't fall out. It was sitting there, suspended on those hinges. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you watching. This is my first salvage video, I think, for a sewing machine in our cabinet. I have to think if I've ever had to salvage a carry case. I don't remember. But anyway, if you remember it on my channel, you'll point it out to me. I'm sure you will. Thanks again for supporting, and if you have not, please consider donating to the channel. You can click on any of the Buy Me a Coffee links. They're all over this channel on every whatever level you wish, because it helps me continue to pay for the expense of looking, finding, traveling, sometimes